To the Basement Chronicles tonight, Thursday, May 16th. Now, we're doing the show a little bit different tonight. We're changing up. We got a green screen in the back. We're not going to change it up for something in the back today. However, if you're interested in advertising, The Basement Chronicles is the place to do it. Contact us at TheBasementChronicles2012@gmail.com. I'm McLean.
And I am Chip, and this is kind of going to be our new approach right now. We're going to test it out. We will still be interactive, but we had a big week last week. Can I tell everybody what happened? And This is thanks to you. We had 1,000 views last week between our show and our clips, which is the first time that's ever happened, McLean. It's a big accomplishment.
It is a big accomplishment, and that's why we're trying something a little bit different, trying to boost that, continue that, you know what I mean? And it may seem like a little bit off to some people, but this is how we're going to change up the show. Instead of us doing a totally live show, what we're going to do is we're going to be live on Spreecast through a video, and we're going to present you guys this video, and that's going to be the show. However, we're going to be online and chatting with you guys on Spreecast, and not only on that, but also on Twitter. I'm going to be live streaming on the Twitter, and you are going to be live streaming on the Spreecast, and we'll be in the same place. We'll be introing the video of the show, so we'll be able to take on live guests. We'll be able to kind of cut through some stuff, and it's going to be an interesting new approach to the Basement Chronicles.
We will actually be hosting our own show.
Yes, we will be.
And we will be our own guests because we could not get guests of our caliber on the show.
Yes.
So now we've taken care of the hosting details and the guest details.
So we're really in the clear.
Right, and we can also have recorded segments for our guests, which will be great. And who knows what's going to be on our green screen next week.
Exactly. And really the biggest reason we're trying to do this is convenience for you guys, convenience for us, and trying to make an all-around better show where we can look at stuff afterwards and kind of tweak it so that you guys can get the best possible product, so that it's not some shows that we've had where we're like, oh, blah, like, we don't know what to talk about.
What are you talking about? Every single show has been a gem. Every show has been a gem, if you've asked me.
Anyway, let's get to the news. So, today the first thing I wanted to talk about was the late-night host switch, because we've switched from a live show to a semi-live show, and now I want to talk about your thoughts on Jimmy Fallon replacing Jay Leno, and then Seth Meyers replacing Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I am all for Jimmy Fallon replacing Jay, because Jay, who was like a cutting-edge comic in the 70s and 80s, and even though he beat Letterman consistently on late night, I just think he's too middle America for me. He's not edgy enough. I think Jimmy Fallon is more creative, edgy. He's kind of got a younger demographic, which is great. And then Seth Meyers is going to replace him. Never a big Seth Meyers fan.
I don't think really either way about him. I think Seth Meyers is like totally average comedian. I've never thought he was like super funny, but I think also his problem is in past years of SNL they've done the Weekend Update with two people, and he only has one person. You know what I mean? So maybe it's tough for him. He has no like rebound, but that's what it'll actually like train him for being the one person late night host.
Well, this actually could be an interactive part of our show. Whereas like we ask you guys, and why don't you guys right now while you're watching the show, you could either tweet us or on Spreecast tell us, who do you think the best host of Weekend Update was?
Yeah, and who do you think the best host of any late night show has been, really? And we'll definitely get back to you. So
I think Carson.
You think
Carson, Johnny Carson, best host ever of a late night show. And I think Weekend Update, the two best hosts were, even though he was a pain in the butt, I hear Chevy Chase and Tina Fey. Two best. I
think Tina Fey is one of the funniest female comedians out there right now. And I think that there's a preconception that like women aren't as funny as men, but I think Tina Fey and Amy Poehler as well are funny. And also, Amy Poehler is the first guest that Seth Meyers is going to have on his late night. And I almost see that as like kind of playing it safe, you know what I mean? Like, you know that this person you're really good friends with, you can rebound off of that person, but maybe that's just what he needs, you know what I mean?
Well, there's a comfort factor. Like, when I host late night after Seth Meyers, you'll be my first guest because I would be comfortable with you. on the show. When you said preconception, I thought you meant that Tina Fey was pregnant.
No.
Okay. All right, because sometimes I don't
understand big words.
I don't understand big words like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
So, because the late night world is totally different than regular TV. If you just look at the ratings, you don't really have to have big ratings to be on late night because nobody's up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, also, now we're looking at not just the new late night hosts, but we're looking at almost like a new era of television, because NBC especially has like ended most of their famous shows, and now some new shows are coming up. The Office ends tonight, and Parks and Recreation is in 2 seasons finishing up, and Community looks like it's out the door.
No, they're going to save Community.
They're going to save.
They keep on saving this show, even though nobody wants to be on the show.
Community has a cult following, but other than that, it's just
a satanic cult following.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, somehow Chevy Chase is on Community, and they haven't killed themselves yet. As you were saying, Chevy Chase is notorious for being terrible. Another question for you guys: tweet us or send us on a Spreecast. Who do you guys think is the worst personality on TV? Not an actor, not his character, but what actor do you think is just the most hated actor on TV?
You mean in real life?
In real life, yeah.
In real life. I don't know, I like the way people talk about actors like they actually know.
Oh, yeah. I hate when people call, famous people or historical people by their first names, because it's they're your uncles, which is not.
Or no, they read what goes on in the press.
And also,
they think that they know people, not like us.
No, we always are unbiased.
Right. Not like when we go out and have drinks with Lindsay Lohan.
Mm-hmm. Will you go and have drinks with
Lohan?
Or Lohan.
Or
how do you
Lilo.
How do you pronounce her last name? It's
I don't know. I pronounce it. Huh?
It's Lohan.
Actually, when they pull her over, they ask her to pronounce her name, and if she can get it right, then they cuff her and they bring her in. So okay, so
some new shows are coming on. Do you know
what
any
are some
of
the new shows?
Well, one of the most interesting ones is I'm a big fan of the new Marvel Cinema Universe, what they're doing with bringing all the shows, bringing all the movies, and then bringing them into one movie periodically. But what they're doing now is something called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's the fictional government agency that deals with superheroes in the Marvel comic books. And they released a trailer already, and we're going to watch the trailer now. And if you're watching the show right now, the trailer will be up. So, the thing with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. movie that I find so interesting, or the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is that they are using a lot of it to build up to the next Avengers movie. So they're using a TV show to build up to a movie, and it's an interesting
Does S.H.I.E.L.D. stand for something?
It actually in the trailer it says what S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for.
Okay, all right.
So we're gonna watch out the promo.
For years, the truth was hidden. People from other times, other worlds. Heroes. But now we know. They're among us.
What does S.H.I.E.L.D. stand for, Agent Ward?
Strategic Homeland Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division.
And what does that mean to you?
It means someone really wanted our initials to spell out S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm clearance level 6. I know that Agent Coulson was killed in action before the Battle of New York. Welcome to level 7. What is that?
It's a superhero, Agent Ward. We work the case S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't classified. Strange, the unknown. It's not just spy versus spy anymore. The whole world's in on the action.
You're in danger.
What do you mean, danger?
S.H.I.E.L.D.
I should carry a shield?
S.H.I.E.L.D. Government. scary men in dark suits who come after guys like you.
Is that who I think it is? She's just the pilot. Melinda May is just the pilot. Fitzsimmons?
Fitz,
Simmons. I'm engineering. She's biochem.
it's not of this earth. We will rise against those who shield us from the truth, and nothing can stop us in the... Hey.
There are two ways we can do this.
Oh, it's one of them the easy way.
No.
We're not exactly a team player.
We're not exactly a team, but we're in a position to do some good. I've seen giants. The good ones are not heroes because of what they have. It's what they do one day. We're not the only ones interested in people with powers. Only take the shot if you have to.
We have a couple of hours at most. There's no way that we could
Don't
possibly...
ever tell me there's no way. Don't touch Lola.
So that's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trailer.
You know what my favorite part of that trailer was?
What?
I would love if someone would shoot a hot woman out of a building in a short skirt into my arms out. That's really the cool part.
Actually, that is one of the superheroes that's rumored to be Luke Cage, Power Man.
Luke Cage. I don't think that's a great name for a superhero.
He's one of the original superheroes.
Is that like Nick Cage's brother?
I think so. Nick Cage.
Because that sounds like a nickname that Nick Cage would come up with.
See, Nick Cage. While we're on the topic, Nick Cage. What do you think about Nick Cage?
Well, in his early movie roles, I'd be like, he was quirky.
Yeah.
Now he's just crazy.
He's insane.
And insane. But that's what happens with actors.
Yes.
So you have him, and it's like, okay, he's in Peggy Sue Got Married. I guess that was good. And then he did the thing where he was in some movie, I guess, with David Caruso, who blew his career.
Mm-hmm.
He left, and he was in that movie. I don't remember what it was. And he played this guy, Junior Brown, who was like this mobster, and he like plumps up. Why is it every time an actor like changes his body, that's like a huge thing?
I don't know.
My body changes every 2 months. I'm gaining 20 pounds or losing 20 pounds. And I don't get an Academy Award for that.
I guess that's like something that only actors get.
So Nick Cage, but then it's the same thing as like Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, like he was in Star Wars and he was in Witness and all those
after
movies.
Indiana Jones and like Star Wars and Indiana Jones were his like two big hits, I think.
And then his acting approach to everything was to whisper.
Yeah, and they had him in 42. I don't know. Did you see 42?
No.
Apparently, he was not great in 42.
Everybody was saying he was fantastic in 42.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard.
They said,
that
he was just
great.
like Branch Rickey, and Branch Rickey was the famous owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah. See, I've heard that he was not fantastic.
But that's the thing. It's like actors, they kind of get this cachet, and they can just keep going and keep going. But you wonder how like some actors, are able to continue their career, and then you look back at movies like from the 80s or 70s and say, whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah. Well, also, I think typecasting is one of the like most difficult things for an actor. If you're typecast, like that must be terrible. Like we were talking about Michael Clark Duncan a few weeks back, or maybe like 2 months ago when he passed away. And his whole story was that he was typecast as the bodyguard with no lines for every movie, and then he finally got a break, and everyone realized that he was like a great actor. So, like, stuff that happens like that.
Right, well, I'm typecast now. I can't take any roles above ground.
Yes.
I can only do acting roles underground.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to be starring in The Mole next week, which could be like a Marvel comic. That would be like a great superhero.
The Mole?
Right?
That's
like
an idea.
your superpower would be that you'd be able to burrow into the ground and clean up septic systems.
I don't know how that would be used in superhero.
It would be the smelly mole.
The smelly mole. So, another question for you guys. Who do you think is the most typecast actor out there? Respond to us on Twitter or on Spreecast. And also, for people who are just coming on, we're trying a new thing for the show tonight. We're going to host ourselves hosting our own show. It's almost like show inception. But we're just going to try it out, and maybe we do next week if people like it. And we're trying to just bring more of a fluid thing to the show.
Actually, coming back around, there was a Nick Cage movie called Adaption, where he played like different versions of himself.
Wow. Nick Cage has become an internet superstar. Do you know that? Nicolas Cage has become an internet superstar.
I know that because you've shown me some Nick Cage movies
Yes.
that are online.
And also, his while we're on the topic, he played Ghost Rider, and
Ghost Rider,
it was notoriously one of the worst superhero movies, probably a little bit in front of Daredevil. Ben Affleck's still trying to make us forget about Daredevil.
And Daredevil was he blind? He was like a blind superhero?
Yeah, Daredevil is a blind superhero.
I'm sorry, hearing impaired.
Hearing impaired because he's blind?
Oh, I'm sorry, sight impaired.
Yes.
Sight impaired. You can't say blind anymore. You can't say deaf anymore.
You know, that's also.
But you can say fat. No one cares if they call you fat. That's okay. Don't say blind. Don't say deaf. Don't say lame.
Well, when you're talking about political correctness, that's also like another thing that goes into movies now, where it's like something gets a little bit too politically incorrect, something gets a little bit not. And there's actually a video of tonight's last episode of The Office.
Okay.
And there is a video of a gentleman on The Office who plays Kevin.
I love Kevin.
And
Kevin is like my favorite character because I think I could be Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I love him. He's so lovable. He's such a great guy. And to think that this guy, I don't know, I never saw him before The Office, but this guy got like 9 years on that show.
And he is doing well now. And
I love that he had a band. That was like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
He had a band on the show.
I forget what they were called. But we're going to put the link up right now if you want to click on the link. This is Kevin's favorite line from The Office. This is the actor Brian Baumgartner, and he's going to tell us his favorite line. And it's something that is a little bit politically incorrect, so if you have kids out there.
I'm Allie Wentworth. This is your Daily Shot on Yahoo. My guest is Brian Baumgartner, who plays Kevin on The Office. And after 9 seasons, The Office ends on May 16th. He's here to talk about everybody on the show, the ending of the show, and why he wishes he had my job. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So who is your buddy on the show? Everybody has a buddy. Everybody has a friend who goes like, I can't believe we're only getting...
Everyone was that buddy.
Yeah.
Oscar and Angela and I had a pretty special relationship.
You were a throuple?
We were a throuple. I mean, they put us in the corner in the beginning, probably because they thought, well, we'll never see Tab.
Yeah.
Let's leave them over there. And
Under 5.
We were making our own television show.
You were?
For sure, for a couple of years.
I would watch that show,
yes.
too.
We thought everyone would love it.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it. By the end, we all knew our characters so well, and knew the other characters so well. It sort of almost never failed.
So did you improvise on camera?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially us, because we wanted to make our own television show.
Right.
We were like, Jim and Pam?
Right.
Who wants to see them?
Yeah. They're married. She's pregnant.
Who cares? I mean, we all, it's NBC. We always shot what the script was, but then we always played.
Did it change at all when Steve Carell left and James Spader came in?
Yes. I mean, the two of them actually it's a great lesson of different styles, actually. Yeah. I respect both of them so much.
You're finished shooting, so you can say whatever you want.
Right.
James Spader's crazy. Steve's an egomaniac. I mean, let's be honest here. Did you guys hang out during hiatuses?
Yes.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. I compartmentalized my buddies, so it was like Rainn Wilson and I were tennis buddies. And
wow!
I know, it's crazy.
All right, you and Rainn playing tennis. I mean, the image is fantastic.
No,
what do you and Mindy do? Go to Whole Foods? Mini golf?
Anthropology.
Oh yes. Wear that, Mindy. Wear the yellow dress. It's better.
Don't get me wrong. After we were done shooting,
there's a brief moment.
There was a brief moment, yes.
Everybody just step back. Yes.
I'll talk to you in a few weeks.
Yes, I get that. So what's next for you?
What I want to do is something totally different.
Yes, as you should. I see you as a pedophile priest, but that's just me.
I would love to play that role.
Law and Order, SVU.
In fiction.
Yes.
I would love to play that.
Yes.
No, that would be great.
Yeah.
I want to do something,
Dramatic or still funny?
Sure, but either, both.
Mm-hmm. But not theater, because there's no money and it's long hours. Jenna's crazy.
It's hard.
Favorite episode?
Diversity Day and the Christmas episode in season 2.
Favorite line you got to say?
I'm totally gonna bang Holly.
And by the way, I'm making T-shirts that say that on it because it's all right. That was your Daily Shot. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see you in everything except the stage.
Yes.
And wish you luck.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Don't miss the season finale. Subscribe to our channel at dailyshot.yahoo.com and check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
So other than a terrible host for that show,
Was she Holly on the show?
no.
I don't know why.
She looks a lot like
looks
Holly.
like
Yeah,
Holly.
she does.
Well, you know what I hated about that?
What?
Kevin sounded too intelligent. He
Yeah,
sounded
he
like
did.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I like his affected speech.
Dumb Kevin
yes.
is good. But I think that's just characters on that show just melded into people. Like you said, Kevin's your favorite character. My favorite character personally is Jim. But it's mostly because of the actors. Just they did such a good job casting those roles and having those people there and just they put 100% into it. I think even after Steve Carell left, it was better than 90% of the show on TV.
But you know what? You get these people you've seen Gilligan's Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You get these people like Bob Denver that said that they were typecast their entire life because of a role like that. That everybody thought of him as Gilligan. Now, come on. It's like the show ran for 3 years. They had people like Carol O'Connor, who played iconic roles like Archie and All in the Family. And then you have people like De Niro who have played thousands. What if De Niro played like Gilligan? You know what I mean?
Funny.
So if De Niro played Gilligan and then he said, I couldn't get another role. And then you had Bob Denver would be in Taxi Driver. I mean, what if you flip-flopped those roles and then people would say, oh, well, I was typecast. I don't know. I don't believe that. I believe that if you're a good enough actor, because most of the time, don't you think actors play themselves?
Oh, definitely. I think that, personally, we've been working on our movie, and that's a little bit of the reason why we're doing this type of show tonight, because it's last-minute stuff for tomorrow for our first show and for our movie. But I know that it's 95% improv, our movie. We set out a little bit of an outline. But when I'm playing my character, just myself, I'm not a professional actor by any means, and we're just kind of fooling around with a camera. But just in that small control variable stance, I am playing myself pretty much. And unless I'm totally playing someone else, I played a grandfather in the movie, and I played a totally different person from myself. And that's how you have to do it. You have to switch around.
Well, you either play yourself or an exaggeration of yourself.
Oh yeah.
So it's but when you see actors really bad actors, and they play a role, it's I'm trying to think of one. Tori Spelling, when she was in a movie of the week. Now, first of all, she's getting the role because her father was Aaron Spelling, who was a big, producer. And, she plays some runaway, and she has to have a southern accent. She can barely do the southern accent, or she slips out of the southern accent. It's a really bad actor can ruin a movie. Or a great actor can help a really, really horrible show.
I mean,
I think Ashton Kutcher saying, "Hey, dude, where's my car?" or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That I think he should have gotten an Emmy.
Yeah, for saving that.
Instead, he got a Demi. You see how I did that? If we had a green screen, we could put Demi Moore's picture up behind us.
We could, and that's just one of the many joys of when we get our green.
Yes, wait till we get to learn this technology.
Oh, we know the technology. We're just
if we know the technology, why aren't we using it?
Because we're waiting for advertisers for all the big bucks to come in.
For all the big bucks to come in. Now that we have 1,000, 1,000 views. It took us 60 shows to get 1,000 views. and a cat sneezing gets 100,000.
Hey, the internet loves cats.
The internet loves cats, and I'm allergic to cats.
Well, I'm allergic to cats too, which brings us to our next segment.
Which is?
Nothing to do with being allergic to cats.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So, our next segment tonight is, apparently, Will Smith is pretty terrible dad.
oh yeah, why is that?
Yes.
Because he made his son star in Karate Kid.
No.
Karate Kid.
He.
Isn't it funny? He started his career with a rap song that said, "Parents don't understand," and now
He is
doesn't
a
understand his
parent.
own
He doesn't
kids,
get it.
right? So why is he
Yeah.
a bad dad?
Well,
Did he make his son do an internet show in their basement?
no, his son wants emancipation from his father.
Oh yeah. Why?
Yes.
Oh, I love how whatever emancipation.
Emancipation.
It doesn't have anything to do with the African American experience. It just has to do with the father-son experience.
Apparently, yes.
You're not going to want emancipation from me, are you?
No, you're not too bad.
All right. So what's the story?
So, his kid came out and said that he wants emancipation from his father because his father rules with an iron fist. So, and Will Smith, think the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rules. I find that very hard to believe.
Well, unless it's wardrobe, he didn't return something in one of his
Maybe.
last super because he was like that. He was Hancock. What
Mhm.
other superheroes was he?
He was no one else. He was
You
Hank.
ever notice in a movie no one can take advantage of Will Smith? Will Smith is always like the super sharp,
Yeah,
slick guy, and no one takes advantage.
But
of
he's been pretty
Will
good in
Smith.
most of his movies. So, could you think of a really bad Will Smith movie?
No, I haven't watched a lot of them.
Like
I mean, I guess
Independence Game
Men in
Day.
Black. He was good in
Men in Black was good. Men in Black 3, but really that was a stretch.
And
I heard that
anytime
was
you get on the
terrible.
third
Yeah,
sequel,
you
it's
should just
bad.
not go for a 3.
Right.
Well, he apparently said that their home life is intricately put together, so that there is
What do you
absolutely
mean? What do you mean?
there is no room for having fun or doing what they want, which I find hard to believe because I feel like you can't be going 110% of the day. And even if you are, imagine how wealthy they are. Pretty much everyone in their family is a millionaire. Even his daughter Willow Smith has a hit single, and she's 8. So
I know, that's so depressing.
yeah, and
I hate when people don't even graduate grammar school and they have a better career than I do.
yeah. So I don't know. You know what I mean? It's weird stuff. But we keep seeming to come around to the idea of a superhero movie, and while that got me thinking that a lot of big actors, not top of the tier actors, but a lot of big actors have had one movie where they played the superhero.
Like who?
Like Ben Affleck, he played Daredevil. Will Smith, he played Hancock. Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man. There are a few other ones too.
William Catt played Greatest American Hero.
William Catt apparently played Lou
And
Ferrigno.
I can't
Lou
believe
Ferrigno is to me a top actor, one of the top actors.
because you play the Hulk.
I do play the Hulk.
Thank
I have respect for Lou Ferrigno. It takes
and
a
he
lot.
was hearing impaired.
Yes, he was. He actually has voiced the Hulk in every situation that the Hulk has been on, an animated or live action, in his case, TV show. They got him to voice the Hulk for the Avengers.
It's funny that he can't hear, but he does voiceover.
Yeah, he does good voiceover work too. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
So,
I would like to have a blind actor do animation.
well, that could happen.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite thing about Lou Ferrigno was, I forgot what show it was, but I think it might have been the show with Kevin James, but he played the next door neighbor, and he played Lou Ferrigno as the next door neighbor,
Yeah.
which was great.
That's
I love
good.
that.
So Arrested Development is another TV show that's coming back on Netflix.
Which was a great show.
Yes, and we have the trailer right now for Arrested Development, the season 4 trailer, and we're gonna get your reaction.
Check it out if you've never seen this show. It's really funny.
Hope you know a good place to live because oh, dear Lord. Because I'm looking to make a new start. Oh, Mother of God, dear Lord. Woo.
Excuse me?
Hello?
Dad.
Oh my God. Oh, there is kind of a girl here. Didn't say it was your cousin.
No, right?
Michael, Joe, Lindsay,
George Michael? Lucille.
Tobias Fuke.
George. Lindy.
Buster.
I really love you, Tobias.
Oh, Lindsay. We've got to get you to that acting class.
Hey, I just want my son to have a job where his incompetence won't be out of place.
Well, that's not a great sign.
I would love to help you. We like to pull together
Watch your
around
back.
here. No, you watch your back, mister.
Oh my God!
I bet it's been a long time since you've seen your Sherry.
I have lupus.
This is the sign I've been waiting for.
Good luck with your night terrors. Now no one will be there to hear your screams. Now with this car, you might get some stares.
I'm used to a car with some stairs.
That was a great show.
Yes, and I really would like to praise Netflix for bringing that back. You know what I mean?
Well, isn't Netflix not doing well?
Netflix is doing terrible. Netflix
So they're bringing back a show. and
Netflix is
it's a
riding
great
on
show,
its new.
but it might not hang on long enough for us to see the show.
Well, Netflix did this thing where it lost a contract with Warner Brothers and something else. I think Paramount, and lost like a good. I think it was 20,000 movies and TV shows.
I actually saw a show on, I don't know what network it was last night, but it was like what happened with the merger between AOL and Time Warner and how dysfunctional it was and how like all the big executives were fighting and it was all about their bonuses and everything and it just kind of just crushed like a huge media company because of people fighting. I hope that never happens to us now that we're getting famous and we're going to have our green screen and our stuff behind us.
So Netflix did this thing called Quickster. Remember when they started to do that because they figured out the Postal Service was going to be destroyed? And they did only, like, they separated into two companies, Netflix and Quickster. And Quickster was the streaming. But they have terrible streaming movies. They have only good streaming TV shows. And then 2 days after they did it, people freaked out so much that they changed it back just to Netflix. So that was interesting, but also you have not only that, but they lost that huge contract. They're charging more for streaming of two people. Their only thing keeping them alive is their show House of Cards, which I hear is very, very, very good. And it's like some fancy TV show. But other than that, like, it doesn't look like they're doing very well.
Wasn't Quickster like a superhero that was like on SpongeBob?
There was yes.
Like, see, we come back around to the superhero.
Yeah,
it always comes to
it's always
superhero.
coming back to that. It seems like that's just the idea tonight. But the point is, they're not doing so well. Not doing so well. So that's unfortunate, though, because, you know, Netflix is a good idea. You know what's disappointing? Hulu Plus. Because Hulu was all about, like, free, like, TV and stuff, and then Hulu Plus came around, and it was just like,
well, actually,
this is
that's
disappointing.
Hulu Plus is where the series that I was working on, Don't Know Jack, was supposed to debut. It was supposed to debut in June, and now it's October. And I'm watching it, and I'm saying, there's so much crap on that.
Yeah, it's
you know
not
what I mean? Like,
good.
And so I'm, like, thinking, how is that going to go anywhere? But hey, you got to go with, like, whatever's paying you, and we'll see what happens. But it's just a disappointment. I hate when you have, like, a free service that now you have to pay for.
So, Google announces a new music subscription service. And I understand that this is called Google Play All Access. And the idea is that they're going to run iTunes right out of town, which is never going to happen, even though iTunes is the worst thing that Apple has created ever. Because it's not cross-compatible, like, nothing, like, it doesn't work very well. But the thing is they've had Google Play out for the Android stuff, not iTunes. And that's been doing really well. but now this Google Play stuff. So what are your thoughts on now Google like trying to get up all in Apple's face?
I don't even know how to use iTunes. I don't know how to use iTunes, and it's like, so what's going to make this better than iTunes?
I have no idea. Like, it doesn't give very much, like an idea of anything. You know what I mean?
You think those guys are sitting around at Google in between
just hanging out? I think they're just
yoga
hanging
classes,
yeah,
and like skateboarding down to their next meeting. And thinking, okay, what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm bored. Hey, you know what? Why don't we do something like iTunes? Okay, fine. Pass me a granola bar.
Yeah.
And then they just did that. You know?
That's like pretty much what like they do.
You know why they're going to fail?
Why?
Because work should be work. They create the perception that work is fun.
Yeah,
and work is not fun.
Mm-mm.
Work is work. That's why they call it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Google comes around, oh, we're hip, we're fun, oh, you know what, oh, can you give me a chair massage? You're at your desk because you're miserable. You don't want to feel relaxed. Come on. Google it's not going to work.
Google and DreamWorks have this thing where they like just hang out and do whatever they want.
Yeah. All those people.
Mm-hmm.
Those people. By those people, I meant those people. I didn't mean any kind of like, anti-Semitic thing.
Yeah.
Katzenberg.
So, do you have any stories tonight?
Well, I was going to say, now that you have this up here, what's the guy's name? The bomber?
Yeah.
What's his name from Boston?
I don't know.
It's a long name. But you know what?
The teen girls?
All the teen girls are now like, they're swooning over this guy who blew off people's arms and legs. He's too cute to be a terrorist.
They signed things that said he's too cute to be a terrorist. I'm going to send this over to you guys because I know we're going to get some heated responses on Twitter and Spreecast. What do you guys think about that? They're trying to sign a petition to get him out of jail for blowing... He killed people.
Right.
And now, like, I'm trying not to make light of the subject, but it's so ridiculous that it's difficult to say just, like, seriously.
I hate to say it, and I'm gonna sound sexist, but it is a female thing.
It is.
I've seen it before. It's like a guy's a bad boy, okay. Bad boy I can understand,
Yeah.
Even like light prison time I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about assault and murder, you shouldn't be on the cover of Tiger Beat. That's all I'm saying. Good. So now this guy, right? All of a sudden, all these women are like, oh, he's so cute. Oh, you know what? I don't think that he, should be persecuted. And or they don't think he did it.
No, they know he did it, but they don't.
Which is even worse.
Yeah. So,
thank God, Osama bin Laden was not a good-looking man. No. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened?
Well, you don't know. He had like 9 wives, right?
He had 9 wives. He was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's his name? Paul Mercurio used to have a joke. It's like, how can we not find this guy? He's like 8 feet tall.
He's 8 feet tall, and he's got the only power outlet in Afghanistan because he needs to be on dialysis. Like, how can we not find him? But, speaking of the armed forces, see these segues? These are excellent segues. There is our new segment this week called the Video of the Week, and it's called The Finals Week at the Navy College. So this is a video, and we're going to say 3, 2, 1, so that when we put up the link, while the people live are watching, they can click it and watch it, and we'll say 3, 2, 1, and we can watch it at the same time. So we're going to watch The Finals Week at Navy. Guys, click the little clip on the bottom. In 3, 2, 1.
Hey. Are you busy? I'm bored. I'm not going away. Oh. It's working on. You want some? I think I'm gonna do the Old Bay challenge. to iron your uniform? I usually just iron mine when I'm wearing them. Could I see your ID, please? Sir, could I see your ID, please?
Is 2.0 officially as low as you can be? Because it doesn't say that in here, and I'm pretty sure I'm lower than that.
Alex's phone. Is this the future? How am I going to do on my physics exam? Really badly?
I'm a scat man.
What you working on? How does she do that?
And hold on this last one, guys. Stick it. Beautiful.
I show my moves on the everybody trying to do.
Did you know tweezers are actually the most inefficient way of tweezing your nose hairs? You can actually burn
Hey, can you stop?
Yeah, you study?
That was finals week.
There's nothing like annoying somebody that really wants to study.
Yes, and I'm sure you know that. I've not been to college yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure you know that because from what I hear, you were quite the irritating student.
No, but there is. It's like when somebody wants to study and, you know, they're like so focused and locked in. I used to have a closet single, which a closet single is like a room as big as this right here. And I used to get like 12 guys in there and I would be studying and people would be drinking beer and we would be doing other stuff and watching TV. And I would just be sitting at my desk typing my paper. It did not bother me at all. Of course, maybe that's why it took me 5 years to get out of college. But hey.
You made it.
Do what I say, not what I do.
Exactly.
Right.
So, what were you typing on at that time? Were computers the new thing, or were you typewriter?
No, I actually had like a portable typewriter.
Oh wow!
And the whole big thing was like when you lost the ribbon, you had to find the ribbon. It was like, you know, my favorites. It was like antique.
Yeah.
So I had to go back in time to find a typewriter ribbon to type it. Then when you made a mistake, you had to use whiteout.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That sounds actually like terrible. That sounds like the worst thing ever.
It was terrible because you made a mistake on a page. You had to go back and retype the whole page.
Yeah.
And you're drunk.
So we're gonna shift gears a little bit and talk about my big budget production.
All right. This is great.
This is our second movie in the trio that will be the trilogy of Spider-Man Nation, and it is the second one called Spider-Man vs. Venom, and it revolves around the character Justin, who sees Spider-Man a lot, and now we figure out that his family ancestry has been involved in a gang his entire life called the Latin Heck Causers, because they cause a lot of heck, and their rival gang, the Brooklyn Dirty Boys, face off every year in a gang war. And this year, Justin has to rise to the occasion because of unforeseen circumstances. And we're really pushing for it. So I thought we would do a little director interview. And I know
that would be great.
I know you've prepared a bunch of questions.
We should do that. It'd be like inside the actor's studio. Actually, for us, it would be underneath the actor's studio.
Underneath the actor's
I could be James
yes.
Lipton without the beard, or I could grow my beard. Does he still have a beard?
I don't know. I don't even know who James Lipton is. So.
My father used to have a joke about Lipton, Mr. Lipton. Who's the dirtiest man in the world?
I don't know.
Mr. Lipton, and that's all I can say on a on a kid's show. But if you email us, I'll give you the punchline.
Yes, and
so when is the debut of your movie?
The debut on YouTube is June 1st, and the debut in real life in the real tangible world is tomorrow. So that's a big exciting event.
This is not tangible? Or because of the green screen, there's no reality?
No, I was saying that YouTube is not like...
It's a virtual
virtual form, yeah.
All right.
So, I think the biggest problem with making a movie is always your critics and your writers when you're writing with people. Now, I know you write with people on your show, Don't Know Jack, and I know you probably shouldn't bash the writers if you have problems with them, which I don't know that you do or you do not. But
because I keep my mouth shut.
You do. But what do you would you agree to me that the hardest thing is writing with people?
You know what? The great philosopher, Mr. Doc Allen, the 237th smartest man in the world, once said to me, "No one collaborates! They don't collaborate! Do you think Lennon and McCartney collaborated? No. Lennon wrote 90% and then McCartney wrote 10%. So they wrote their songs and no, you don't know!" So
that's a 237.
That's a 237.
To 238.
238, which actually brings up something because next week we are thinking of having a special guest on the show.
We are having a special guest.
We are going to have a special guest. We wanted to have him this week, but since we're kind of doing this kind of like impromptu
new show
format, this is almost like nouveau.
Yeah.
Nouveau.
It's like a new age.
It's like a new age show.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how this is working out. People in the audience could be saying, "Hey, we hate this."
Yeah, well,
but we're going to try it.
Sit through it and stay here,
right?
You jerks.
Hey,
I only said
we just got 1,000 views. I want you to apologize to the audience.
No,
apologize to the audience.
I won't do it. They're jerks sometimes.
All right, so then blame him. But anyway, we wanted to have one of our fans, one of our followers, Aiden McBride, on, and we were going to do a show.
Oh, good last name. Good last name, Chip.
Oh, Aiden.
Yes.
Okay, Aiden on. Well, I could be a fictional last name, Aiden Smith.
Aiden Smith.
We could edit it out.
Okay. Anyway,
we were going to have him on and talk about his experiences, or we were thinking of a game show, and what was your idea?
We were thinking that we were going to do a Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and we were going to have it would be a pre-recorded show. We're going to have a panel of 3 fifth graders, 3 fifth or 6th graders, and then we're going to get a panel of 3 adults. You will be one of them. I will be the host of the game show, and we're going to play for you guys.
And if you lose and you have peanut allergies, we'll make you eat peanuts. Like
Oh,
they do
absolutely.
In school.
Yes.
I said peanuts.
Yes. Not to be confused with walnuts.
Right.
Right, of course.
Or anything that sounds similar to that.
Yes. So,
Aiden, next week, want to have you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize for using a fictional last name.
Yes. So, speaking of phallic things...
you said anything about phallics.
You were talking about walnuts.
Anyway, go ahead.
A man convinced China to build a giant wee-wee.
Well.
A man convinced China to build a giant wee-wee. And
how did he convince him to do that?
Well, he is known for building... he's an architect who is a famous architect in China, and he's known for building risque buildings like a pair of trousers or now a wee-wee. And we will post a link to an image of the building. And I'd take it to your discretion if you have children. But it's not too bad.
Well, speaking of that, one of the big stories today is there is a nude picture of B. Arthur.
I saw that trending on Yahoo today, good thing I didn't...
And that somebody is raffling off, and it was like $2 million that they were going to bid on this picture. Now, I don't know. I mean...
I don't know if anyone should buy that.
But it's like, actually Letterman, if you look it up, Duke Top 10, Letterman did a top 10 on the B. Arthur picture, which I didn't think was that great, but we should play it for our audience right now. But it's like, where the heck did that come from? You know?
And why are they auctioning it off?
It's this artist that supposedly does, like, you're talking about the guy doing the wee-wee sculpture. It was this guy who does actually kind of like offbeat pictures. And actually, she never posed for him,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of disappointing, you know, because how erotic would that be? So.
Is it the Betty White top 10?
No.
Then
no.
it's
well,
not.
it's not. It's not up. It was actually on last night.
Yes. So
actually, there's a picture of B. Arthur, and
have you experienced this?
Well, actually, it was on the post, but they blocked out the Golden Girls. But it is just like amazing the things that go on in the world that are true.
Yes.
So
this is the man who convinced China into building a PP.
What's the guy's name?
The man's name is Zhao Kui. I definitely butchered that. But this is one of his. This will be a link, and it's a web page. It's an article by one of my favorite websites, Cracked, and this is the building that currently stands in China, and he, you know,
what happens if the elevator goes up and down too many times?
Well, I mean, it's just a surprise.
How do you get a permit for that?
They don't allow people to use Google in China, and they're allowing this guy to build a giant
businesses of ding-dongs in the town square.
Yeah, you would think that they would be more like...
Can you imagine the building inspector like checking that out?
Yeah, just... Oh, well, this is interesting.
Well, I've seen many violations.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you know...
Like all the scaffolding around it and everything like that.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like if someone built something in here, we would be like, what the heck are you doing? Like, someone would have caught that beforehand.
Well, I'm sure they knew what it was when they were building it.
Well, they showed him the plan. He showed them the plans, and they gave him a yes.
Right, it's like, maybe this was a little premature.
Yeah.
You could say things like that.
Yeah. So. Apparently he did it with a straight face, too, because he's a very respected architect, and he builds buildings that look like pants.
Well, this has been a very eclectic show. I can't even believe that we're almost at the end of our show.
Yeah, and I think that you hate this new layout, but I'm going to make you like it.
Okay, well, you know what? Right now, I'm not really on board with it, but I told you I would try it.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you guys give it a chance. What we're going to try to do probably, I think what's going to happen is we're going to mix our old format and our new format, and we're going to see what happens. So now what is going to happen? Now, we are recording this earlier today, like they do at Letterman. Are we going to be online at 8 o'clock?
We are going to be online at 8 o'clock, as usual. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off the show live, we're going to play this, and we're going to be on Twitter and Spreecast, and while this is going, and then, you know, towards the end of the show, we'll come back on, we'll say we hope you like the new format, and we're going to try out some new stuff, and this is just one of the newer things. But we're going to be interacting with people the whole way. If it's a huge mess, we could just take it off and we could do live stuff. But let's get back to the show.
All right. But now you committed us to be on because, you know, we could have just... I thought the whole plan was to put this garbage up so that we didn't have to be here tonight.
This garbage?
Yeah. Well, that's what you said. You said... Oh, I'm not supposed to say that on camera.
Say garbage?
Yeah. So...
Anyway.
Can we put something up on the green screen?
Not tonight.
Well, so
thanks for doing the whole thing.
Well, you know, you guys, we should actually have a contest where you guys either tweet us or go on our Facebook page and tell us what you would like to see on the green screen. What the first image should be on the green screen for our show next week.
Yes.
So,
do you have any stories?
Do I have any stories? Well, actually, as you know, I've not been conventionally doing conventional jobs searches, and I surprisingly got called to go for a job today at a regular company, and it was just so weird to be back in a suit and a tie and go in and talk to people because it's so funny. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. Because
I you know, like I've been doing pretty well with the comedy work and everything else, so I went in for the job, and it's funny. I just like throw things out, and they go along with it. So the woman called me and said, "Oh, would you like to interview?" And I was like, "Sure." And she said, "How would a Skype interview?" I said, "You know what? You have such a wonderful voice. How would I come down there and we talk face to face? Because I want to meet you." And she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." So I go in and we're talking, and so then she threw out the salary, and I'm like, "That's not going to do it. I think I need this." She goes, "Well, that's very reasonable. Now, if I really, really tried to get that job, I could never get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there is probably a really, really big, dangerous shortage of wise guys in the corporate world now. So I think I'm fulfilling a really, really valuable need because who's going to be
it's a minority,
right? Who's the guy at the water cooler making the sexist comments?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy doing something funny with the munchkins and the one crawler that's left over in the break room?
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody there. So
what would you do with this show?
I would actually be a speechwriter for these corporate guys, and they wouldn't even tell me what company it is now, but they're very enthralled with me now, and they want me to come back for another interview. So I'm trying to play hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, "Oh, they're very interested in meeting you."
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course your mother's like, "Don't blow this, don't be smart." But I don't know if I really want to do this.
Well, you know what, your choice.
Because how we couldn't prepare like we did for this show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If I actually had like a corporate job, and Teddy will throw himself in front of a bus because every time I wear a suit and a tie now, my youngest son will be like, "You got another job, did you?"
Well, taking time into a factor with our intro, tonight was a good. I think it was a good show tonight, and we're gonna come back live to you guys in about a minute. And we'd like to thank you guys for trying out this new thing that we're trying to do.
It's an experimental format, so guys, please bear with us.
Please bear with his hatred and angry feelings.
Well, all I'm gonna say, McLean, is that we finally reached 1,000 viewers, and so what do? We switch up because that's what great shows do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. So let us know if you liked it. Go on our Facebook page. Go on our there's a Basement Chronicles Facebook page, and most of you were a part of it. Or you can type in tonight and let us know if you like it or not. And we appreciate you trying it out. We appreciate you being open-minded. So let us know what you think. And we will see you later tonight. And thanks for watching, okay?